Look how fast. Sorry, bud. Really? I'll be out tomorrow.
Hello. Can you hear me now? Thomas says he hears sounds. Alrighty. Let me try one more thing here. Did this thing turn off? Nope, it's connected. Device, audio. All right. Can you still hear me? All right. Can you still hear me? Good, good, good. We're good. I guess I'll be reaching out to Rumble Studios after this and asking them what the hell is wrong with their piece of crap system. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Jay. Hi, Thomas.
No good now.
Say hi to Honey. Alrighty. Let me see if I can get Fred an invite from in here. Share screen. Share. Edit. Can I add a thing here to send? Nope. Cannot do it. Oh, hold on.
Thanks. Last week.
Alrighty.
Good now. I'm gonna get.
How's everybody doing? Y'all having a good day? This made absolutely zero sense. We did the whole thing with StreamYard for the religious channel with no issues at all. And I go to use Rumble Studio and nothing works. So they'll be getting some emails from me today. I don't pay the money to use it for it to act like that. So, but I appreciate your patience as we work through things. I'm sorry that we have to do it, but unfortunately, sometimes that's what we have to do. Hopefully everybody's staying nice and cool. Who am I looking for? There he is. Hey, Fred. Hey, sorry, bud. It didn't give me an option to add somebody Wait, hold on. Participants? No, it's just telling the people that are in here. All right. So sorry, I can't bring you up. One thing that I want to talk about that I saw today that I can't not talk about. Has anybody seen where over in Ireland they found 800 babies in a septic tank at a, I guess it was supposed to be a home for unwed mothers. Have you seen all that? Let me see if this will work. That's the wrong button. They'll be in tomorrow. That's awesome, bud. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to see if this works. Oh, come on now. This isn't going to work either. Can you guys see this? Hey, it's working. Holy crap. It says recovery efforts begin to recover nearly 800 babies believed to be buried in septic tanks. It says babies discarded in a septic tank by Catholic priests and nuns 80 years to receive a dignified burial. Hundreds of children are believed to be buried in a mass grave. And of course, everybody's taking this as a reason to attack the church when this is not a church issue. This is a people issue. Okay. This was horrible clergy and nuns who made these decisions that are, I'm sure at this point, none of them are still here to receive justice from us, but they are definitely receiving justice from God. It says between the 1920s and 1990s, tens of thousands of Irish women who became pregnant outside of marriage were sent to homes run by nuns. Contraception was illegal in Ireland until the 1980s, and abortion was illegal until 2018. The church and the state, they had this thing about unmarried mothers being evil. They looked on them as dangerous because they were dangerous to men, said John Rogers, who was born to in the mother and baby home in Tom. So we need to pray for this situation. Um, it's just very sad. All right, let's do. Whoops, wrong button. We have to counter that with something funny now. Let's Animal Farm. Falls at Spain's San Fermin Bull Running Festival. Please. See, these are the smart people that's up in the top. Where they're not. These are the people in their brain. You get smashed at some point here, a close call, or people really get hurt badly. Things, right? Pamplona, thank you. Spain, the highlight of the 9-day festival, the early morning bull run to avoid 6 bulls charging along a winding cobblestone route to the city's bull ring. See those horns? Sides. Those are some.
Which one is the brown mix?
There. Sure, I'll see it again. And there's what happens when you play stupid games.
What is that?
Docile. That's not even a I bet they wouldn't protest. That's not even all right. Let's go look at new link. Yeah, I posted the new link. King Charles' annual census begins on the River Thames. You can hear me now? Let's see. Thames. Question. I think I said that sentence right. All right, I sent a link. All right. Was measured I am saying something. The annual 5-day census of swans belonging to we'll do that. Okay, that should fix it. Did it fix it? Okay, yeah, we're good now. All right, so we'll just have to go back to the old way. All right, so we'll just have to go back to the old way. All right, so we'll just have to go back to the old way. All right, pull up my handy dandy thingamabobber. You're getting two of me now. Oh, you're here. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. I just had to turn myself down. That's all. Okay, so let me pull up the King Charles Swan thing and we will finish talking about that quick. Okay, I'll start at the beginning again since my audio was messed up. It's like King Charles' annual swan census begins on the River Thames. London, England. Scarlet uniforms flashed against the riverbank. Wooden skiffs glided in formation. A young swan, gently lifted from the water, was measured, inspected, and released. The annual 5-day census of swans belonging to King Charles III, known as the Swan Upping, began Monday on the River Thames to assess their health. One of the British monarch's less known titles is Seigneur of the Swans, Lord of the Swans. And according to ancient lore, he or she owns all members of the mute swan species found in Britain's open waters. Every year, a team of carefully selected oarsmen, swan uppers, are tasked with finding the swans on a stretch of the Thames. When a family is spotted, they shout, "All up," and the boats quickly surround the birds, marking them and checking for signs of disease or injury. It gives us an indication of what's going on throughout the country, said David Barber, who wears a scarlet jacket and a white swan feather in his cap and bears the title of King Swan Marker. It's a tradition, but I think it's serving a very useful purpose as well. Barber has been leading the event for more than 30 years. He is accompanied by a vet and oarsman dressed in three colors: red for the king, white for the worshipful company of vintners, and blue stripes for the worshipful company of dyers. The last two are medieval London trade guilds that were granted ownership of some famed swans in the 15th century. The census's tradition dates to the 12th century when swans were considered an important food for royal banquets and feasts. Get that. Um, they were checking them because they were going to eat them. Yippee! While swans are now legally protected from hunting, they face threats from disease, pollution, vandalism, and cruelty, Barber said. Their numbers have declined over the last 2 years, primarily due to outbreaks of avian flu across Britain, he said, adding that only 86 young swans were found during last year's swan upping, which was 45% fewer than the year before that. Barber appeared positive at the end of the event's first day, with a total of 16 young swans recorded. The census continues until Friday, traveling from Sunbury on the outskirts of London to Abington, 80 miles upstream. So there you go. If you want something new to do and fun, you can go over and you can help them feel up some swans. Isn't that fun? What are we having for dinner, Animal Farm, if I may ask? I'm kind of hungry. All right. People in Florida neighborhoods stopped dinner, grabbed tools to rescue 4 people in plane crash. I don't know how those people can get close enough to them without getting hurt. I think it's just because they're so used to it, Jay, because it happens from such a young age, that they're used to being handled, kind of like a kitten. When you handle a kitten from when it's really small, it gets used to being handled. So I think the same thing goes for the swans. I thought the swan voted in England. That's an interesting thought. I'll look into it. This is from July 15th, 4:35 p.m. Residents in a Miami suburb used an Axe fire extinguisher and garden hose to rescue 4 people from a small plane that crashed into a tree in yet another mishap near a busy South Florida airport. It was nothing short of heroic, Angelo Castillo, the mayor of Pembroke Pines in Broward County, said Tuesday. But Castillo is frustrated. He said there have been more than 30 crashes in the past 5 years on or around North Perry Airport, which serves small planes. A local street is named for a 4-year-old Taylor Bishop, one of 3 people who died when a plane crashed into an SUV in 2021. We need better assurances that these planes are not going to keep falling out of the sky, Castillo said. The airport was a dairy farm before World War II. Now it's the busiest general aviation airport in Florida, but within a 5-mile radius there are approximately 500,000 people. A pilot and 3 passengers were approaching the airport in a Cessna T-33-7G when the aircraft crashed into a tree in the Pine Village neighborhood around 8 p.m. Sunday, authorities said. Residents put their dinner forks down to get out there, Castillo said. Some had garden hoses to put out the fire. There were cuts and bruises, but all 4 were saved. And then hold on, I gotta turn down the tint so you guys can see. But then there's the actual plane crash there. You can see crashing an aircraft is heroic, Jake says. I think I don't need to be heroic today, Jay. You know what I mean? I'm good. I don't need to crash a plane. He goes, the response was heroic. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. You want to see baby hippo's first birthday party in Thailand? Hi, Ann. Baby hippo, yes. Okie dokie. We are heading to the hippo. Man, everything's loading slow today. I wonder why. Can I get a picture to pop up? Okay, there's the Baba Hippo. It is 1 year old. Its name is Mudang. Mudang, the hippo. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, man. So it says here, can you please go away, advertisement? I would appreciate it. Thank you. Thousands of excited fans flocked to a Thai zoo on Thursday to celebrate the first birthday of Mudang, the adorable baby pygmy hippo that has become a social media sensation. The cow, I can't even say that word. I'm not even trying. But it said the zoo was overrun with Mudang fans on the first of 4 days of activities marking the hippo's birthday. Children under 12 years old can enter the zoo about a 2-hour drive from the capital of Bangkok for free throughout the extravaganza. One guy was killed by 2 water buffaloes yesterday in Oklahoma. Wow. Interesting. Let me see if I can find something about that, Jay. Water. Hello? Yep, right here. I got it. Jones, Oklahoma. A farmer in a rural suburb outside of Oklahoma City was fatally attacked by a pair of water buffaloes he purchased at a livestock auction a day earlier, police said. Bradley McMichael, a farmer in the small town of Jones, suffered deep lacerations. What the heck is going on here? Suffered deep lacerations in the attack Friday night, Jones Police Chief Brian Farrington said in a statement. The animals were so aggressive that first responders couldn't get to the victim at first, he said. One water buffalo was euthanized immediately and the other was put down after it became increasingly agitated and threatening, Farmington said. Police say they believe McMichael had purchased the two animals a day earlier and became trapped inside an enclosure while he was tending to them. McMichael's former wife, Amy Smith, said caring for livestock was his passion. The cattle farming, that's his thing, Smith told television station KFOR. He's been here his whole life, and he's done this his whole life. So he's an experienced cattle handler and farmer. Although water buffalo are not commonly raised in the U.S., they are known for their milk production and lean cuts of beef. And now apparently they are also known as human deleterists. You know, they deleted two humanists. All right, we're gonna go to. That's sad. We'll have to keep his family and stuff in prayer. Um, okay, so here's an update on that home fire in Massachusetts. Assisted living home cited for late reports of safety incidents years before fatal fire. Fall Rivers, Massachusetts, Massachusetts Assisted Living Center, where 9 residents died in a fire, was cited for failing to immediately report more than 24 health and safety incidents, according to regulators. Most recent review of the facility. 5 men and 4 women were killed, and at least 30 others were injured Sunday night at Gabriel House in Fall River, about 50 miles south of Boston. Some of the 70 residents were rescued by ladder after screaming for help from the windows of the 3-story building. Investigators have not yet determined the cause of the blaze, which was the state's deadliest fire in more than 4 decades. The 100-unit facility, which opened in 1999 in a former motel built decades earlier, was last inspected by the state on October 31st, 2023. So who's actually at fault here? Is it the site itself, or is it the state for not doing what their job is? I'm so tired of this shit. You see so many of these nursing homes that fail inspection, and nothing gets done about it. And that goes for here in Pennsylvania, too. We have so many homes here in Pennsylvania that fail inspection, and they're just left to go on like nothing happens. Sorry, I need to calm down. Had the state done their job, how many of those people would still be alive right now? Okay, now this goes to what Ann was talking about. Walmart recalls 850,000 water bottles after 2 consumers suffer vision loss from ejecting caps. That sounds like a good time, right? New York. Walmart is recalling about 850,000 stainless steel water bottles because the lid can forcefully eject and unexpectedly strike consumers, resulting in permanent vision loss for 2 people to date. The recall covers Walmart's Ozark Trail 64-ounce stainless steel insulated water bottles, which have been sold at the chain stores across the country since 2017, according to a notice published by the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission on Thursday. These products pose serious impact and laceration hazards. That's because when a consumer attempts to open the bottles after food, carbonated beverages, or perishable beverages such as juice or milk are stored inside over time, the lids can forcefully eject. As of Thursday's announcement, Walmart had received 3 reports of consumers who were injured after being struck in the face by these lids when opening their bottles, and 2 of those people suffered permanent vision loss after being struck in the eye. Consumers are urged to stop using the now recalled Ozark Trail bottles and contact Walmart for a full refund. Shoppers can also bring the products to their local Walmart store for that compensation. So if you own the 64-ounce Ozark Trail stainless steel insulated water bottles, please stop using them and take it back. Get your money back. Jay says you're not supposed to put Zima in your water bottles. It happens. Zima. Holy crap! I haven't had Zima in forever. I actually kind of like Zima. Remember? That was good stuff. All right, let's see what else I can find here. No. Thanks. Okay. Did you all hear about? I'm sure you all heard about this already. Hackers attack Elmo's X account. The X former Twitter account of Elmo was hacked on Sunday, with the Sesame Street Muppet sending numerous racist and anti-Semitic messages to his 647,000 followers. I thought Elmo would have more followers than that. Elmo's a lightweight. I mean, I guess I shouldn't talk. He has more followers than I do, so I need to shut up, right? Let's do. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. It says here, China is currently experiencing a period of intense and varied extreme weather events, including intense heat waves, severe flooding, and drought in different regions. It didn't talk about the snow. It says here, heat waves north and central China are currently facing hotter and longer heat waves, with some regions experiencing record-breaking temperatures. Southern China has been experiencing intense rainfall and flooding, leading to warnings and displacement of people. Several provinces are also grappling with drought conditions due to scarce rainfall and high temperatures affecting agriculture and water resources. China has also been affected by typhoons, with one typhoon recently causing casualties and significant damage. The combination of heavy rain and high temperatures has triggered landslides in some areas. So, yeah. What are you doing? Huh? Why are you yelling at me? I'm not getting anything for today, Ann. Smyrna police respond to active shooter situation at Legacy Wine. Where's this at? This is a YouTube channel, though. I don't want. Yeah, it's not going to tell me anything. All right, here we go. This is from 6/19, though. I don't want to. I want today. Okay, I'm putting you back down. Why are you yelling at me? One hour ago, Smyrna, Tennessee, Legacy Wine and Spirits standoff. Why does it always have to be at a liquor store? Yep, baby kitty. Here's the other one. Where's Cassie at? Cassie is developing some white patches. So, but yeah, it's sad that, like Dave Chappelle said, they know what they're doing. They're putting gun stores across the street from liquor stores, right? And I'm definitely not bashing the Second Amendment and having gun stores. It's sad that somebody gets into a situation where they think that they have no other choice but to do something like that. I gotta plug the laptop in or it's gonna disconnect on us. There we go. We're plugged up. doesn't seem to be charging. Let me double check here. Yep, it's charging. We're good. And it says people are getting desperate, unfortunately. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's always somebody that's desperate, and yummy, piss warm apple juice. Blah. I remember when I got married back in 1998, and we, my aunt and uncle got us the hotel room at down in Atlantic City. And we had a balcony, and I'm sitting on the balcony, and this dude is in the middle of the street just screaming at the top of his lungs because his gambling addiction literally cost him his house, his car, probably his marriage if he was married, because he put them up for collateral. Now think about that. You are so addicted to gambling that you would gamble your entire life away. I don't understand. I can't grasp that concept. I'm sorry to hear that, Ann. Ann says, town around my area lost dump attendant, passed away, and worked there for 20 years, sadly, and same town lost caretaker of their town cemetery. Yeah, it's sad, they taken, hopefully they have someone else that can come up and do a good job of taking care of it. Where'd it go? Little shit's on their chair, I think. But yeah, that's why I stay away from the slot machine. When I go to the casino, I take $20, and that's what I play. And when that $20 is gone, I'm done. That's it. I'm ready to go. Now, thankfully, I've actually made money off of the casino more than I've lost. So, but that's because of if I win something, I play off of those winnings instead of putting my money in. You know what I mean? But like I said, once that $10 and those winnings are gone, that's it. I'm done. I don't pull money out. I don't take any extra money with me. That's the way you have to. If you go up there with a debit card and extra cash, you're going to put more money in. It's just a matter of human instinct. I saw. Hold on. Let me see if I did again. Sucked. Okay. a teen that was okay. Teen deceased at factory for frozen burrito company. The victim was a 19-year-old sanitation employee at Teen. It said the 19-year-old sanitation employee at Burritos was cleaning the meat grinder during the after-hour station shift at the factory on Sunday, July 13th. He was then sucked into the machine. Authorities rushed to the scene to discover him deceased in the machine. This is a failure of either training or following your training, right? When you are cleaning out machines like that, you're supposed to do a lockout tagout. And that is because you are the one that's you're okay. And that's the thing you're taught when you're working around big machinery. So therefore, you are supposed to grab a lockout tagout lock, and on there's a tag that you are supposed to write down what you are doing, the time that you lock it out, and the date. And you lock it, and then you are the only one that's supposed to have a key to that lock besides the safety person. Okay? And that way, there is no power to that machine. No one can come up and turn it on without you unlocking it. Cal says, no, I guarantee the boss told him to do it that way. Safety be damned, it's faster. Sadly, I've seen that too, Cal. I've seen that done as well. If we have too many tags, we get in trouble. Boss probably. Thankfully, when I worked around heavy machinery, that was not that I was taught by the proper way by people, and that's the way I taught when I was working, when I was training someone new. I used to have to take a safety course at each plant I visited, except for in Mexico. Wow, Mexico's the crazy one still. That's weird. But yeah, so it's sad. We are horrified to hear that story, and it's even more tragic because of how young he was. So hopefully the company gets fined for not teaching. But I wouldn't be buying these burritos for a while if I were you. I wonder if they're going to put a disclaimer on the wrapper, may contain human meat. Well, and as someone who used to work in the livestock industry, I can tell you that there are some practices that I don't agree with. Yes. But when your consumption, you don't treat them horribly, but they're being transported and, going through the sales stable, and then they get trucked to the processing plant. It depends on where you're taking them. We used to take them. We use a personal butcher here. Okay. And so they do things a lot different than the mass packing plants that you see that get the most attention. So, all right, so let me explain it this way. I have seen people mistreat animals, and those people have gotten into a lot of trouble with that. Right? I can definitely taste the difference in my meat that was treated nicely. Well, depends on the situation, I guess. Cal says explains why they're the cheapest things in the store. Ouch. They would even want me to work on control cabinets with 450 vac still on. Oh wow, that's crazy, Jay. Yeah, I would have walked away from that stuff. No. But yeah, it does affect the meat. I remember we took and I was working overnight shift at the yards, and I was expecting a truck full of dogs, right? And so I'm sitting there. It's just after midnight. This truck pulled in, and it is completely silent. I'm sure I told some of you this story before. And I'm like, that's weird. And he backs it. He gives me his paperwork. I'm looking it over. And the whole time, normally when pigs come in, they are noisy. They're screaming. They're rocking the trailer. Really rambunctious. And I'm like, what's going on with that? He's like, oh, they just took a nap, I guess. And we get up there. He opens the back up, and they're all laid over. And he goes in with the hot shot and hits one, and it doesn't move. And I'm like, oh shit, we're in trouble. And so he opens up the truck, and he's going through, and all of these 800 hogs, okay, are completely gone. Now, here's what most people don't understand about hogs. Hogs do not have sweat glands. They don't sweat. It is extremely hot, and you spray a hog down with water, with cold water, it sends them into shock. I mean, instant shock. Like that. They just fall over. Here, the truck driver stopped at a car wash on the way down, and he was trying to be nice. He didn't realize it, but he was actually being mistaken. But he stopped at a car wash on the way down, and he hosed the trailer off, trying to cool the hogs down. Okay. So now, yeah, he killed 800 hogs. Then he asked me if he can dump them out back, and I'm like, "Are you crazy? No, you can't dump them out back." And I told him where the closest dump was, and I told him, I said, "You're gonna take them there and pull them off." I said, "I can't. I can't take them out back and let you dump them." Dan says no people who truck livestock to meat processing plants and disgusting and couldn't get person to eat any box meat from the first order. Only gets from butcher, printing cows and feed, and crap to weigh more for market too. There are some people who do that, but the majority of the people who raise livestock for butchering take pride in what they raise. All right, Jay, take care, bud. Be safe. These animals are farm raised. They're out in the grass. They're grass fed. But I have some where they put their pig or their animals under a chicken house. And they come in and they're completely covered in chicken shit. So I've seen both of it. Okay. Now most of the stuff that you goes to that gets the really cheap shit goes to New Jersey. Okay. There are Arabs that come up from New Jersey and they buy goats, sheep, and they buy all kinds of beef. Buy the cheapest they can get. Honestly, there's only a couple of Arabs that I ever met that actually bought top quality animals. And they don't buy pork because they can't eat pork. If you see a Muslim eating pork, they are not a Muslim. Okay. We actually took the Arabs back to the hog barn one day, and they were looking around and they're like, "Yeah, no, nope," and they left. It depends on how far you're taking them. Most of the time, they just go directly to the slaughterhouse. Animals are resilient. As long as you're not going more than 12 to 14 hours with them, they'll be okay. Now, if you're going from like Pennsylvania to California, or if you're going up to Canada, places in Canada, then they will actually take them someplace to like a stockyard somewhere, unload them, pen them up, feed them, water them, and let them sleep there overnight while the truck driver gets his sleep. And then they'll load them back up in the morning to continue their drive. So, it's not completely inhumane. It just all depends on who's doing it, honestly. Like I said, that's both sides of it. There are good farmers, there are good truckers, and then there's bad on both. I've seen some crazy shit over the years. Some stuff you wouldn't believe. No, I agree, man. You can't. That's too long of a drive. They would have to stop somewhere, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a long enough drive, they'll have to stop and unload them and take care of them. So I agree with you there. I'm not arguing that point. You know, most of our stuff went either to um, New Jersey or it went down to South Carolina. That's where most of the stuff went from um, our stockyards. So, anything else you want to talk about? Let's see. Brother did it for 40 years and still doing talent. Nice. Let's see. Let's see if the trash thing's done in Buffalo. Nope, they started pick trash yesterday. So Philadelphia getting a little bit cleaner. at least that. Hopefully, heat wave breaks tomorrow. You're still having a lot of heat up there. I mean, it's warm here, but it's not horrible today. Yeah, my. By 2026, seen earlier, wants to live near a fertilizer plant. If you live near a farm, you live near a fertilizer plant, honestly. You know, that's natural fertilizer, but it's better than the stuff they're going to buy in a store. You know what's worse than a fertilizer plant, and one of those giant compost places. Have you ever seen? They have these giant piles of rubbish. It's just like it's all knocked up. It's woods, anything that'll break down. It's bio throw into this pile, and as it goes on and starts breaking down, it reeks. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. Excuse me. That's all Google has. Yeah, you don't want to be near the battery stuff. The batteries are dangerous. Um, if one battery that just hits thermal runaway and thermal meltdown, and you have a bunch of other batteries with it, it's just going to trigger a chain reaction of batteries. I'm being yelled at. Why am I being yelled at? Where are you going? Oh, you're sleeping back here. Huh? There, that's out of your way. Lay down with your other one. Go ahead. There you go. All right. I helped them find the other one. Oh yeah, chicken stuff is not good fertilizer. You have to let it sit. The ammonia in chicken crap is detrimental to seeds and plants. It's not good for them. You have to put it in a pile, let it rain on it, or water it down, and you have to get that ammonia out of it before you can use it as fertilizer. And it stinks once it's ready. New York City subway flooding, water rushes into train, MTA CEO says. So they had flooding in the New York subways yesterday. Everberry strawberries didn't get runners, unfortunately. Definitely will not. Never had. Yeah, it's never good. If you're going to use chicken stuff, you need, like I said, you need to put it in a pile and just water it down and let it just. So. Yeah, nothing really else. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Let's see if we can find some flash flooding. I am having trouble with my internet today. It says here 3 people are missing and 4 people are dead after being swept away in flash floods after torrential rain pounded Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Hi Ruth, how you doing? This is about an hour and a half northeast of me. Well, welcome home. Let's see if I can find something around me. No results. Okay, well, somebody uploaded flash flooding. And you can use chicken stuff, but it's just really difficult to work with. How's Richard doing? Oh, yeah, I got to figure out what's going on with Rumble Studio. I got to message him later and try and get that. Unfortunately, it has not been working very well the last couple days. He's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yep. That can be a rough surgery to come for a while. Sometimes it takes a couple months before you're fully healed up and able to go back to doing what you normally are. So here's hoping he doesn't have to deal with it for a while. Well, hopefully he won't have to deal with it ever again, right? So, yeah, so let me announce that we are going to do a women's Bible study tomorrow at noon Eastern time. So if you want to join us, I will you're already on YouTube, Tink. Good Lord. There we go. There's the link for that, for the channel. So if you want to join us there tomorrow for the ladies, he still has his moments, but he has a follow-up in August. Okay. Well, hopefully, just tell him to not try to push it. Don't over. He doesn't want to re-aggravate and hurt it more. He ever told me be great for my garden. Certainly watch wood chips in it and put all around my everberry strawberries and again, it can be used, but it has to be. You just got to get rid of that ammonia out of it. Ammonia kills everything, unfortunately. But yeah, we'd like to see you at the Bible study if you don't mind. If you would like to. We had somebody come and attack me today on the Bible study. We were reading from Proverbs, and somebody came in there to get me wild. I refused to get rubbed up. I meant to just put them in timeout, and unfortunately, I had clicked the wrong button and they got banned. So I'm going to go figure out how to unban them. It wasn't to get them out of the chat for the rest of the show, so we could peacefully finish up. You know, who remembers these things? What do we got in here? We have Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Let's see if you can see any of these. Hold on, I gotta get a light behind it. Light on. We'll let you see it. There's Jessica Rabbit. You can see some of it there. I'm trying to get it lined up right. But yeah, Viewmasters. Remember these things from when we were kids? I used to love these things. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Great. Maybe I'll play that tonight. Y'all want to come watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit tonight? I have a picture from when I was younger. When I was a junior in high school, we went to Disney before Disney went stupid. And yeah, there's a picture of me under the Honey I Blew Up the Baby sneaker. Yeah, I was laying on the floor in front of it. So that was pretty cool. I would want to do some of the course I found on behavioral science, which includes theology. Nice. If you're on TikTok, I'm going to start doing some small lives on TikTok. Let me get you a link for that. Copy the link. There you go. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing just some small stuff over there. Just try and get some followers, and then once I get over, I think it's 800 or 1,000 followers, I'll be able to actually incorporate TikTok lives in with the rest of the Rumble Studio stuff, um, so that we can be live on TikTok as well as X, YouTube, Rumble, and locals. So it includes religion and about the scriptures, but not sure about doing Bible study specific. Okay, that sounds kind of cool. If you don't mind, share that with me, so I'll check it out and look over it myself. If you don't mind, if it's something you can share. I mean, if not, don't worry about it. I can look stuff up. Um, but I'm still looking for a topic for tomorrow's Bible study. If any of you have anything in mind that you would like me to talk about, or for us to learn about together. Um, so, but yeah, I have studied many religions, from Buddhism to um, Muslim or Islam to Christianity, different versions of Christianity. I've studied with the Jehovah's Witnesses. I've studied with the United Methodist Brethren. Yeah, I've studied with a lot of different denominations and different types of religion. And yeah, there's definitely, in most of them, there is a common thread um, that ties most of them together. If you're talking about on Discord, yeah, you can send files on Discord. If you want, you can actually share. Let me see here once. You can actually share them either in inspirational posts, Discord, or I can actually make you a channel, a special channel just for that, if you want. New Facebook group. Okay. Yeah, definitely send me an invite if you start a Facebook group, and I'll come check it out. I like learning. So, but all right, y'all. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I apologize for all the issues at the beginning and having to jump around and stuff, but yeah, appreciate the love, y'all, and I hope you have a great evening. I will see you on Discord. Not on the Discord. Let me throw a link in here for you. because you should be in the Discord to be a part of this whole, you know. Copy link here. Open. Come hang out. We do voice and video chats. You can come in and just, if you don't want to get on video, you don't have to, but you can just chit chat with us all and actually get to talk in person with people. So yeah. All right. Have a great evening, everybody. Peace. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Later, y'all.